her.
Yeah.
Okay, Tally, ready?
Regina.
I'm going to ask Councilwoman Collins to lead us in the pledge tonight.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Deputy Supervisor Villanova.
Heavenly Father, bless this assemblage, grant us the wisdom to make our every decision fair-minded and in the best interest for all its residents. I kindly ask everyone to please remain standing and keep the Grant Shelley family in your prayers. Thank you. Nick, if we could close that door? Sure. Thank
A lot of good at this. He's a good guy.
Billy, would you like to see?
Well, I'd just like to open the meeting. This is the first I've heard that Mr. Joe Crancelli passed away last week. He's a former town controller. Sorry, can we just... And so I just wanted to extend my personal condolences to his family. Joe was a terrific public servant, and I know that the town of Rye benefited from his service over a number of years. So this is the first I've heard, so I want to extend my personal condolences to the Grant Shelley family. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Supervisor. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go to the approval of the minutes. Get a little bit out of order here. So any comments, questions on the minutes from the December 18th meeting? And if not, can I get a motion? Oh, sorry, actually, I'm going to bring the meeting to order. I apologize. Can I get a motion to bring the meeting to order?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good. All right, apologies. The minutes of the meeting of December 18th. Any questions, comments? If not, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, terrific. Now, the town reports.
We just submit them,
Yep.
and if you have any
Fantastic.
questions.
Great.
Right.
Wonderful. Terrific. Okay, I'm going to go to comments from the public and do presentations afterwards. Is there any? What presentations are we looking at here, Bishop?
There are none.
No,
Okay, just the minutes?
We do have presentations, I just found out tonight.
Well, yeah, I'm going to call up a couple of people to speak, but
Okay.
there's some
And there's
from the
Michelle Marmion? Marmion.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take comments from the public, if that's okay, and then we'll take your presentations. So, comments from the public? Mr. Servey?
Sounds good.
I'm sorry, Rob, look. We have a contract with a contractor to cut the grass at the parks, Crawford Park on the beach, for $62,000. Can somebody tell me what service they give to us?
Sure, Mr. Nowotnik.
Sure.
Need a mic.
Well, actually, hold on. Just one other before we get to the details. This contractor, somebody submitted was due to we put out an RFP, correct?
Yeah. We had,
and how many bids?
8 bidders.
8 bidders. And this contractor came in at I think he was the low bidder. Right. Okay. Sorry. Okay. And you could just remind the public. In fact, he's here this evening, I think.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Terrific. Would you just remind the public and Mr. Servey what it is they do?
Okay. Yeah. I'll do it this way. The contractor is Greenway Property Services, and essentially they do landscaping work for the town. They handle all of the town properties, including the cemeteries, including the various properties that we own through the in-rem process.
Pardon me, Mr. Notwood, just to be clear, the $62,000 for Ryetown Park and Crawford Park, correct?
Yes. The $62,000 encompasses all of it. $32,000 of it, roughly, goes to Ryetown Park. They also provide snow removal in the off-season. And they're also picking up trash now throughout the park. They're emptying the trash cans and picking up trash in the park. That's what they do.
Okay, they pick up the trash, and you asked last month at the meeting here for an emergency $3,000. How come that's not included if they pick up the trash?
The additional costs were not included.
Yeah, so let me actually...
Because at the time, we had staff.
Well, so let me just clarify.
What did you give them the $3,000 for?
Mr. Survey, we're perfectly happy to answer any questions you have, but we're not going to be, this is not a court of law, we're not going to be interrogated. I will answer your question, however.
Okay.
Because I do want to clarify. The $62,000 contract proceeded, as I understand it, Mr. Nowotny, correct me if I'm wrong, was extended to incorporate an additional $3,000 or so for them to pick up garbage at both parks when we decide to let the employees go. That's an interim solution, and that contract goes till March 31st.
And what happens after March 31st?
Well, what we're looking to do, we will have a presentation tonight on how we intend to compensate for the employees that left. So we'll let you. But the bottom line is basically we're looking to contract out for those services.
Now, when something happens in the parks, are those the only guys that get the extra work? Because I understand that's what's happening.
Well, we're going to contract out for as much of the service as possible. So whoever wins the contract...
No, I
understand.
Excuse me, Mr. Supervisor. I have to clarify this because it's not true. Okay, we have a whole series of contractors that do and provide a whole series of services.
Right.
So we contract our electrician to take care of electrical. We have a plumber under contract. We have pest control. We just recently had our backflow valves tested. We use another outside service. I have a different guy that does painting.
Good.
So we contract out quite a bit of services, and that was done even when the staff was there.
I didn't ask that question.
I'm trying to answer your question.
Okay. I asked you if something happens other than his contract, is he the only guy that gets to do the work? Because I understand that's been happening. Because I spoke to a couple of contractors.
Give me an example. Give me an example, Mr.
I'm not going to mention no names.
No. The only people. What the kind of incident that you're...
Well, trees falling and other incidents that happen. Planting trees and throwing the ball fields and all the other stuff. Well, how do you explain that to me?
Well, I'm not going to... First of all, I don't have to justify anything to you.
I didn't ask you to justify. I asked you a question.
Well, Mr. Survey, as I said, I'm not going to sit here. If you actually, you know what, Mr. Survey, I'm perfectly... If you continue to take that tone, we'll let you...
I'm sorry, 3 minutes. That's the way I speak. I can't help that. I apologize for that.
Okay, so the bottom line is, at the end of the day, we always look to get any service provided to the town done at the lowest cost service with the best possible result. So again, so when the tree goes down, Mr. Nowotny, when we had the storm this year, to give you an example of what we do, what did we do this year when the trees went down? We lost 40 trees in Crawford Park?
Zika Landscaping handled the majority of the trees during the storm.
Okay, so there you have it.
Prior to that, we hired an outside contractor when we bid the job for 6 or 7 trees that needed attention in Crawford Park, and a company called Timberline Tree Service won that agreement because they were the lowest qualified bidder. So I take exception to the implication that we are now favoring anybody.
I never said that.
Well, that's what you implied.
That's what you implied.
All right, so let's just... So, okay. Any other questions, Mr. Survey?
No, I don't have any more questions.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you. Other questions from the public? Or comments? Please, yep. Can you just come up?
Eleanor Herman speaking for Friends of Crawford Park. We, Friends of Crawford Park, we're planting trees this fall. We have that done too. So.
Okay, any other questions, comments from the public? All right. Now, I see there's a number of people here that we want to bring up. Deputy Supervisor Villanova, did you...
Yeah, I guess the first person we can bring up is Michelle Marmion. She'd like to present to us tonight a potential plan for a program at Crawford Park.
Terrific.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Good evening. My name is Michelle Marmion, and I'm interested
Sorry, could you just give us your address? Do you live in the town of Rye?
I'm sorry?
Could you just tell us, state your address, please? Your address.
My
Where
address?
do you live? I mean,
I live in 173 Fairview in Port Chester, New
Orange is
York.
good, Jeff. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'm interested in presenting a proposal in consideration for an art club up at Crawford Park. And I would like to have like a future relationship as well, like for summer and like after school programs. I would like to have, the classes that would begin about like 90 minutes and perhaps like lead up into 2 hours. I would definitely clean up the area thereafter. This way there would be no cleanup charges or, anything to,
And who are you targeting, Ms. Marmion? Kids, adults,
small children.
or small children?
Small children, like pre-K right up to like high school.
And are
At
you...
different times, different hours. I'm basically going to determine that as soon as I find out like the schedules of the moms and, availability.
How many days a week are you looking for?
I'm sorry?
How many days a week?
Well, I would like to do it like 5 or 6 days a week.
Okay.
And do you have insurance?
And I'll be happy with whatever is available at this point in time. I don't need a very big room. I just need a small room. Yeah. And I would be responsible for the cleanup fees as well. And basically, the objective is to target classes and add a curriculum to the area, that would promote like art. And as well, the scope of the benefits will be that the children will improve on their motor skills, develop a focus, manners, enhance more senses. This way they are able to have like more concentration in school, out school, and within the community.
Of course.
I'm sorry. Do you have insurance?
I'm sorry?
Do you have insurance?
Yes, I'm working on it. I'm just waiting for a place to acquire. It would be like the Hartford insurance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a year-round class?
I would like it to be year-round if that's a possibility.
Because I was thinking maybe like in the nice weather, would you be willing to do it under the pavilion?
That would be nice in the summer. Yeah, that would be perfect.
How many students are you looking at per class?
Well, alone I could handle up to like 15 children.
What if it's you and Joe Carvin?
And they could have 30.
Yeah, 10.
All right, so about 15 students.
Are you going to be charging for these classes?
Well, I'm going to do it like non-for-profit. So basically I'll charge them a small fee that would cover the art expenses and perhaps like my rent.
Okay.
I'm not really like out to charge like
Your
an
rent,
enormous...
you mean the rent we would charge you, or you mean the
I'm sorry?
Did you say in your rent? So you would charge for the expenses of the art equipment and...
Yes.
Okay.
And
whatever the fee would be
that
to
you're
rent that room.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and my insurance, of
Michelle,
course.
have you approached any of the schools or the Portchester Rec Department?
No, I haven't reached out to the schools. I'm already teaching in the Greenwich schools, and I do after programs in the Greenwich schools as well at North Street.
Okay.
And I had a long relationship with Parkway schools as well. So that's like I've been doing it for a number of years. I just want something on my own now.
I got you. And the reason
where everybody could come to me and then just,
The reason why I asked this question is that there are some organizations almost similar to yours that partnered with the schools and with the Portchester Rec, where it's almost like the after-school program, but you're going someplace else.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be a great opportunity for you to partner with the local schools to enrich their curriculum or after-school curriculum.
Right, I could always reach out to them as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Opportunity.
excellent.
Well, I would be interested in discussing this offline and try to see how we can work the schedule. Ultimately, we would have to see where you fit with the schedule, because we have some commitments there. When the weather changes, the springtime comes, we go into sports that's in the field, and then we have the
theater camp.
Theater camp, and then the regular
arts, and
regular camp.
Rye Brook Day Camp.
Well, that's I think that do you have a 501c3 set up yet? A not-for-profit authorization yet?
No,
Not yet. Okay.
not yet.
Well, I think that's a good question, Councilwoman Mendicino. Another alternative might be here at this building too, if you like. We have some space here.
Great opportunity.
Okay.
But I think we want to encourage this kind of endeavor. I know Mr. Eways would not ever forgive me if I didn't encourage this kind of community outreach.
Right.
And so we want to be very supportive. I think if you could sit down with staff, Mr. Arcaro, is he here? This is Mr. Arcaro. He's making our model American community. And obviously Mr. Nowotnik, and basically let's find out what hours are there, and if you could work with Mr. Arcaro and make a proposal, come back to the board next time. We'll work with you to see how we can take this forward.
Okay.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you for your time.
And we make sure you give Mr. Arcaro your contact details.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Thank you.
The next couple of people I'd like to bring up to the podium is Ed Eways. He's ultimately been a great partner with the municipalities and doing the best that he can to create that positive traction in our communities. And we're also very lucky tonight also to have with us Charlie Scopaletti. And I've said this before, I've said it in the past, but I've known Charlie a long time. And you can't help but smile when I see him. So Eddie and Charlie are going to speak to us tonight about another great program, a positive program, and talk about two local guys continuing to give back to our community. I love the opportunity to listen to you tonight.
Thank you, Councilman Villanova. Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. It's good to be here again in front of the council. Just want to say a few words. One of the great things about doing community organizer work and the work that I've done over the years is throughout the journey you meet some amazing, talented people. And if you're lucky enough, you get the opportunity to introduce these people to the boards and to the community because they're inspirational and they're role models as far as I'm concerned. And I have one here today. I have a man here who, in my opinion, is not only an amazing artist, his story is inspirational. And his music not only speaks to me, I believe it speaks to the entire community. And he's going to be headlining a big show at the Capitol on March 7th, which is an amazing thing for a guy from our community. So I'd just like to call up Charles Scopaletti. He's going to be talking about his show. And
let's get it. Come on. Did you get us tickets, Charlie, to the...
You should have brought your guitar.
As I said, I was just going to come and sing and then walk out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Awesome.
Thank you, Edward. Appreciate it. Thank you, Counselor. Billy, what can I really say, really? Once again, my name is Charlie Scopaletti. I'm a singer-songwriter that grew up here in Portchester and Rye Brook. I went to Blind Brook High School. I've been fortunate enough to travel around the country playing my music all over the place, but I always do come back to my hometown here in Portchester. I'm here today to tell you and to invite you all to a concert and charity event that I'm having Thursday, March 7th at the Capitol Theater. It's called the Charlie Scopaletti Truth Concert and Charity Event. But a little bit, I want to go back. I was only 10 years old when I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. And as scary as that was as a kid, being so young, not knowing what was in store for me, I didn't realize it then, but the experiences really made me and shaped my life to the person I am today. I got introduced to music really for the first time back then when I was 10 years old. A guy used to come in to the recreation room, play the guitar, try to teach us how to play music, and it would really just make you forget about your sickness for a while, and that really stuck with me. The road hasn't always been easy. There's been different paths of careers, There were broken legs, collapsed lungs, another bout with cancer when I was in my 30s, but I wouldn't change any of it. All of that has gotten me to this moment. The last year, I've been around town, this lovely Portchester Down, playing my music. Been on the road promoting my album, Truth. And last week, I was in Atlanta playing for, it's called The Voice. It's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Ryan Seacrest Foundation built this media center where you go in and the patients come down and you get to play your music for them. So that was a really touching moment for me because it brought back many memories of when I was a kid. And so this year I've been trying for every show I do, I try to give back a little bit. And so with the Capitol Theater show, that being on that stage, it means a lot to me that I could bring my music and also give back. But this concert and event is not just about my music or my story. It is about the community. It's about bringing people together, about helping one another. And I think now, more than ever, I feel how important that is to all of us. So one of the charities, I'm going to be giving a portion of my ticket sales to 2 charities, as well as raising other money. And one of the charities is the Natalia Crespo Irene Foundation. And their mission is to celebrate the power of how one person can make a difference in the lives of others. Some of you know Nat. She was my best friend here in Portchester, and she was a shining light to me and many in the community. We lost Nat in 2006, but her spirit definitely lives on through the foundation and us. And the council did give her and the foundation her fair due of all the great work that the foundation has been doing in the community, and proclaimed a day for her, which was really special to us. The other charity that I'll be raising money for is called Immerman Angels, and they're out of Chicago, but they are worldwide. And they connect one-on-one support for cancer fighters, survivors, and caregivers. And pretty much someone like me can become a mentor angel, and they will match me with someone who's going through the same type of cancer, so to give them kind of inspiration and living proof that cancer can be beaten. So it's really like powerful stuff. Both these charities are close to my heart, and I can't be more excited for this event. And on the concert side of things, playing at that Capitol Theater that's been there for my whole life. I passed that I can't tell you how many times, dreaming and wanting to play there, looking through those dusty doors, wondering, is someone going to buy this? You know, going to my father, like, how much money you have? You think we could open this thing up? So it's really a dream of mine to be playing there on that stage where legends have played. So really, I'm here to tell you about that all, to invite you all to the show. Please spread the word, because I want to fill that concert up. I want to fill it that they want me back so many times. The doors open at 6:30. There's going to be guest appearances. I have like a 13-piece band that's going to be playing. Tickets are sale right now through Ticketfly. You could go to Capitol Theater. My website is charliescopaletti.com. And thank you again, Edward. Thank you to the council. March 7th, the Capitol Theater. I want to see all these great faces, and thank you again.
Well, Charlie, before you go, first of all, let's...
So exciting. Yeah. No, I mean, obviously, I think it's awesome. I mean, that's just so great.
And you're married to a guitar player as well, right?
Yeah, we've seen Charlie play many a time. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm thrilled that the Capitol Theater's open, and thrilled to have local Portchester town have an opportunity to play there.
Absolutely.
And then just triply thrilled because, it's such a good cause, and you have such a nice story. So let's, do you want to sing a little bit for us tonight?
I want you to come.
Oh, yeah. Good for you. Well, listen, so Thursday, everybody home. Thursday, March 7th. The doors open at 6:30. It's some terrific prices, and remember, a lot of the money is going to go for terrific cause. And so make sure you be there or be square. They still say that these days?
Now we do.
So bringing it back. So Thursday, March 7th, 6:30, Charlie Scopaletti, Truth Concert and Charity Event.
That's right.
Charlie, thanks so much for
coming.
Thank you so much. Eddie, it's always a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Charlie, get this information to Bishop, and we'll get it up on the Ride Town website.
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And make sure that that we get as much exposure as we can. Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Wow, all good.
Okay.
Deputy Supervisor Villanova, man, he's working well tonight. Any more presentations? Any more?
You ever notice the people that I bring up is very positive?
Yeah, very
Keep
good.
that in mind.
All right.
And make sure you take them all out to dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right, beautiful. Thanks, guys. All right. Okay, so where am I? I got so carried away that I lost my... Okay. Resolutions. Listen, I think we might be able to get another record meeting tonight if we pull through this. We can see if we can get this done before Mr. Noda comes back.
Okay.
So...
This is an annual resolution for the Association of Towns, their annual meeting, and attached to the resolution are the proposed amendments for the bylaws, which I gave you to study, and then you can recommend how you would want us to vote for it. And usually is the representative, and I'm the alternate.
And this is February's meeting.
Right,
In
February
New York City?
17th to the 20th.
New York
right.
City?
New York City,
Okay.
right.
And then just so everyone knows, all the elected officials and department heads, right, are eligible to go to this meeting.
Yes.
It's 3 days.
Right, well, on the last day, they have the morning meeting, which
Right.
really isn't necessary,
It's
but
2 days. It's
Monday
2
and
days.
Tuesday.
If there's some department heads and some people need continuing education credits, you can get those credits there.
Right.
And
And the legislative updates are always
Very good.
important.
Excellent. So we need to, so we should vote to nominate Town Clerk Vespia and Ann Capici.
Right.
Terrific. Can I get a motion to approve said resolution?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd just like to say thank you so much for doing this, Town Clerk Vespia. I know you and Ms. Capici have been representing us for a number of years, and that's why I always get very positive feedback from the Association of Towns in the town. But thank you so much for doing this. I know you do a terrific job when you go there, and I encourage those who have time try and attend the meeting as well. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
All right. Now we have the auditors. For Town of Rye Financials, who wants to take this? Mr. Nowotnik, you want to do this? You want me to do this?
Yes,
Basically, go ahead, please.
Fairly easy.
Yep.
For the past 5 years, we have used Sidor as our auditor. Typically, municipalities like to review auditors periodically. You want to kind of change it up to get a fresh set of eyes looking at your numbers. We've reached out.
Hold those to account?
Well, yes, absolutely.
Right, there you go.
And
Make sure none of those monies are being diverted in any way.
Well, the taxpayers deserve a clear accounting, and by having an outside professional company come in, take a look at your books, see how you're operating the town, that benefits the taxpayers in so many ways. So we reached out, and frankly, we found that there's an opportunity here for the town to save a substantial amount of money. The audit price that was provided was $25,000 versus an initial price of $30,000 with Sidor, and then Sidor threw some things on top of there. For example, $2,500 for the Justice Court audit. So there were additional fees that raised that $30,000 even higher. They also, and you see there's a second resolution for Rye Town Park. They also reduced the fees, the audit fees for Rye Town Park by $2,000, I think it is, from $15,000 to $13,000. Okay, $1,500 then. So overall, the town will save about $10,000. O'Connor Munns Davies is one of the premier audit firms in Westchester County. They audit about 20 different school districts. They audit about 20 some odd or 25 different municipalities. So they've got a tremendous amount of experience. We think that the town is going to be very well served by bringing in O'Connor Munns Davies.
And they were here before, too, right?
They were here before we arrived, yes.
Right. So basically,
yes, we threw them out
Well,
when we first started.
I think there's a couple of points here that I want to make. One is, I want to thank Sador for all the hard work. I think they've been a terrific auditor, and I want to make clear to absolutely everyone they've been a terrific auditor. I think good auditing practice and financial control practice dictates that you change auditors every so often.
Right.
Generally, 5 years is a time frame. So that's the first thing. Second thing is O'Connor Davies came in and we're saving $10,000. The third thing is they work with all the other municipalities in the area. And the fourth thing, they have experience with the town already. So I think all of that bodes well for us.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I did want to make clear Sador's been a terrific auditor. It's got nothing to do with Sador. It has to do with good financial control practice, one, and obviously helping us save some money.
Right.
So the other thing that you may want to take the next resolution as well, because the next one's for Right Town Park.
Yeah, let's take them both at the same time.
Take them both. And the other thing that we should also be mindful of with this is that O'Connor Davies is a large enough organization that we're going to be well serviced when it comes to the audit. There was a little hiccup with the prior auditor where we had a point person, and then that point person left, and there was a lag with getting the next person online because that person had to be brought up to speed.
Right.
That's something that I don't anticipate happening with O'Connor's Davies, and I think that's a very important aspect.
I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, just one other point on Resolution B. In the first paragraph, it says, auditing financial statements of Rye Town Park. I believe that should state Town of Rye. And Resolution C should be Rye Town Park.
Yeah, it is, right? Town of Rye needs to...
B is, sorry,
B should be
Town of Rye.
Town of Rye. It says Rye Town Park.
You know what? Yeah, that's a...
Yep.
Mine is Town of Rye.
Mine is Town of
I would just change the letter up on the top, the heading.
I think Bob, for some reason, Bob has
You have a different one.
I think Bob has a different one.
It says Rye Town Park there.
Oh, I know.
But ours says,
okay,
ours was Town of Rye, right?
Yeah.
You might have an earlier verse. Sorry. Well, anyway,
Yes.
you're absolutely right.
Let's just make sure
Councilman
that
Nioras,
it's
yeah.
correct.
Right, yeah.
So make sure, yeah, exactly.
Make sure the one that Joe signs is the right one.
Exactly right. All right, terrific.
So can I have a copy of
Yeah, let me give you
let me
one.
give you. That's fine. There you go. Cheers. Thanks. Sorry about that. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the new order for both Town of Rye and Rye Town Park?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Mr. Markowitz.
I'm sorry. This says Rye Town Park as well.
It's an old.
Oh, I got the old one as well. Sorry.
Oh, I know what happened. That's when you were emailed something, then the correction was made,
I
right?
apologize.
So Resolution B should state
There you go. There it is.
Town
It
of Rye.
says Town of Rye.
Yeah, mine
Okay.
Resolution C, if you'd like.
Thank you.
You want both?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Markowitz.
Is that better?
Thank you.
Thanks for pointing that out.
The resolution before the town board is to designate an appraiser in connection with an existing certiorari case. The matter is Evelyn Apartment Corporation versus the town of Rye for years 2006 to 2012. We've had several meetings with the Apartment Corp representatives. We have not been able to agree, and the process is moving forward.
Do we have some values on this?
I apologize.
Yes, okay. The property comprises a 70 unit...
Which property are we talking about? Evelyn Court.
Evelyn Court Apartment Corp.
Where's my analysis, Mr. Markowitz? Do we have analysis?
For Evelyn Court?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Okay. It is a 70-unit cooperative apartment. It has an assessment of approximately $6.6 million each and every year, which equates to approximately $93,000 per apartment. We've had discussions with the other side. We have a difference of opinion.
What are they at?
Well, they're suggesting that the value is about $5.6 million.
There's $1 million difference.
Yes.
For how many years?
6 years.
So,
And at this point, we have a court schedule which requires us to exchange appraisals at the end of April. Previously, the town has already designated an attorney to represent the town. I'm hopeful that in the end this all gets resolved, but I must prepare for...
Right, so I'm going to, you know the standards.
I know your
standard. So we're going to approve it conditional on us trying to achieve a settlement before...
Absolutely, and towards that end, we have another discussion slated for next week.
All right, so I'd like to propose that the board approve this, but what we'll endeavor to do is, I want to have a more in-depth conversation with both you and our attorney and see, look, if we got to go to court, we'll go to court. But we've been fortunate in the past. We've managed to derail some of these cases.
Absolutely.
And so if we can derail it before hiring the appraiser, we will. But if we can't, then we'll hire the appraiser.
So the one question that's outstanding for me is that are we sure? I mean, you're mentioning that that each unit is worth approximately $93,000.
Correct.
Now, how are those units valued?
They are valued via an income approach, no differently than a rental apartment complex. Okay. Understand that they are owner-occupied.
Right.
The majority of the units, there's a few ETPA units in there, but the majority are owner-occupied, and what we have to do is estimate rental value, estimate expenses, apply a capitalization rate, derive a value.
Do we also, so when the properties change hands, there's a value that's associated with each property?
No, this is a cooperative apartment building. Essentially what exchanges in the course of a transaction is shares in a corporation representing their ownership of the apartment.
So there's during this analysis that I'm sure Supervisor Carvin is going to request, is a breakdown or a review of the shares that have transferred from one shareholder to another shareholder.
That would not be part of any such analysis. From the standpoint of the court, that's irrelevant.
Do we have an I&E for these people?
To the extent one exists. Understand there's no real rents. The expenses are based upon the cooperative corporation running the cooperative.
Do you have sales prices for recent sales?
No. There are no deeds recorded for these things.
Sorry, they don't rent apartments out?
The apartments are owner-occupied. It's a cooperative apartment building. The majority of the tenants own shares in the corporation that owns the apartment complex.
Yeah, but they could sell them through multiple MLS.
How could there have been no sales? Exactly. How could there have been no sales?
Well, I'll best describe it this way. There's no deed, there's no recording of sales.
I mean, in New York City, if I sell my apartment in a cooperative, there is no
deed. Well, it is recorded by the cooperative corporation as a sale of shares.
Right.
And do we have that information?
No.
Well, that's what we need.
Yeah, exactly.
To do the analysis, right? No?
I would have thought so, sure.
It's treated just as a rental apartment building.
I think that what we try to do is we have understood for years what the threshold is for the courts. Okay, so the attorneys and the courts have given us a threshold of what an applicant or what a property owner needs to provide, for analysis. And then I think that what we tried to do, and I know that we work very hard, is to try to raise that threshold a little bit so we could be even more transparent and to really understand what the value is of the property.
Sure.
And if they have nothing to hide, why would they provide it?
Well, actually, look, the problem we have is that the courts don't seem to value these properties in any kind of coherent way. I don't know how we deal with that. Right? I just it seems like they. Anyway, the bottom line is we don't.
Let me just make one comment about co-ops. Co-ops under New York State law are treated differently than most properties that sell. The state of New York, the state legislature passed laws that require co-ops to be valued differently than, say, a condominium or a home. That's how we do it.
Right. Well, one thing is, We had you, Mr. Binder, Mr. Vitigliano do a presentation several months ago, and there was a number of items that were needed to be followed up on. One of them was really trying to get a better evaluation process. Could you just meet with them and update me for next meeting on where you've gotten to with those various follow-up items? Okay, great.
So, two items. One, isn't there a special provision for certain co-ops of a certain age that they get a discount on a
That's for condominiums.
Condominiums.
There are condominiums that were converted in a certain time frame within the state of New York who are treated the same way as cooperatives.
Right, okay. This does not fit into that section of the law. Could you tell me approximately what the tax would be on a gross basis on $1 million in assessed value on any property?
Approximately to all jurisdictions, $25,000.
So roughly 2.5%.
Correct.
Okay.
This is residential.
This is commercial, but this is in the
commercial. So isn't commercial higher than 2.5%?
Well, not in the Village of Mamaroneck.
Okay.
What would be the rate that, there's no dollar figure in
So the value at risk for this property is about $150,000.
Yes, I can tell you what they...
6 times 25.
Yes. Thank you.
Are we putting a cap? Do we have a rate?
Well, we've already approved valuation, right? In 2010, I think it says there. We've already...
We put out an RFP and requested competitive bids for professional services. Based upon a review of those bids, we designated 2 appraisers as being eligible to do the work. And I can tell you honestly that I got 2 proposals on these appraisal services, and this is the lower cost proposal.
All right.
Okay.
Well, how much is that cost proposed?
For preliminary analysis, approximately $3,300.
Wow.
Okay. Can I get a motion? Any other questions for Mr. Markowitz? Got a motion to approve the hiring and evaluation in the event we can't reach a solution? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Markowitz.
Thank you.
Actually, while I have you up there, you want to just go ahead and give your assessors anything you want to talk
Nothing
about?
to add.
Nothing to add. All right, so we can let you go home early tonight if you like. Thank you, Mr. Markowitz.
We all can go.
All right. Report on the dissolution of the town of Rye. I think it's just really an update, right? You don't have anything specific in mind other than us updating the public and the board?
I didn't have anything specific in mind.
Okay, good. So does anybody in the audience have any comments, take this opportunity, any comments, questions on the dissolution process in the town of Rye? Okay, I didn't think so. Maybe just update the board. So we're going to have a steering committee meeting this Thursday. And we're going to hopefully have Mr. Otis and Mr. Latimer confirmed. They haven't. Did you call them?
Yes.
All right.
I've spoken to each of their aides.
And they haven't yet confirmed?
They have not yet.
All right. So we're hoping to meet with Mr. Otis and Mr. Latimer, who will be critical to this process. I saw both this past weekend, and hopefully we'll get them on board. We had a public meeting in the town of Mamaroneck. The Village of Mamaroneck. The Village of Mamaroneck and the Rye next section is going to be the trickiest part, and we're going to do on Thursday is talk to, hopefully, to Mr. Otis and State Assemblyman Otis and State Senator Latimer to talk about some solutions or maybe some solutions there. I was at the Village of Mamaroneck meeting where they presented the public last week. It was a constructive meeting. So ultimately what we've got to do is we're going to vote at each of the municipality levels and the boards. We may need to call a special meeting for that if this board's okay. And so I expect to do that hopefully in early February. And then we would vote to approve. So if anybody has any questions in the interim this evening or whatever, I know you've all looked at it and I think we have broad support here. But don't hesitate to ask. So I think that's pretty much it on the Rye dissolution study. If it does get approved at the 4 board levels, it then goes to the legislature. They'd come back and then remember, so it would go to a referendum in November. If that passes, then we'd have an execution plan for the whole of 2014, and it would be enacted in January 1, 2015. So it's on track, and we'll see what happens. I think these Thursdays meetings are critical.
What time is that meeting?
It's 5 o'clock. It's a steering committee meeting at 5 o'clock.
And where is that held?
At the Village Rybrook.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. We've heard from Mr. Markowitz, Mr. Burns. No reports. How's our okay, good.